What if your life was controlled by a sinister force and you were a puppet in the most literal sense? Abruptio is one of the weirdest, most disturbing horror films in years. Let's talk about it. This is directed and written by Evan Marlowe. The entire cast is portrayed by life-size puppets with actors providing the voices. It blends horror, psychological thriller, dark comedy, and surrealism. It features a stacked voice cast, including a lot of horror legends. It follows Les Hackle, an unlucky man who wakes up with a strange explosive device implanted in his neck. Forced to commit horrific crimes by a mysterious organization, Les struggles to unravel the mystery of his fate before it's too late. A descent into madness, paranoia, and existential dread. Now, I didn't even realize who the voice actors were in this while I was watching it. So apparently James Marsters plays Les Hackle, the main character. He's the blonde vampire from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And it's funny because Les Hackle looks more like Mike Stocklasa from Red Letter Media than James Marsters. But yeah, he gives a good performance. It's unlike what I imagine his voice sounds like. Sid Haig, this is one of his final roles, which is funny because he died in 2019. This came out in 2023. It does add a kind of eerie presence and thinking back, and Jordan Peele, he provides a voice too to one of the characters, and there's other horror icons like Robert Englund and Darren Jacobs contribute to the unsettling atmosphere. There is like this sort of uncanny, unsettling effect of using puppets instead of human actors. They're very stiff, very lifeless expressions. It adds to the horror and the surreal atmosphere of the film. If I was going to compare it to anything, it would be like Meet the Feebles, I think. And I think it really does enhance like the dread and unsettling nature of the movie. It really makes you feel just out of place. And there's like 2 or 3 moments I was watching this movie and I was like, what the fuck am I watching? It also adds to the themes and the horror and psychological themes of the movie. It is a mix of like body horror, paranoia, existential dread. This starts out as like this thriller/horror film with this technological control of the bomb in his neck. And in the second half, it's like Lovecraftian horror in a way. Very much Cronenberg-esque too, with the loss of identity and just the technological aspect of it. It's definitely like a dystopian nightmare scenario, how it plays on the fears of being powerless in a cruel world, almost like it's relevant now. It's very just surreal and dreamlike horror, and it just keeps you unsettled. With some of the trivia, I guess the film was in production for nearly a decade, just for the meticulous nature of the puppet animation, which is funny because I was thinking they used CGI to make them blink and everything. No, there was no CGI enhancements with these puppets. Everything was done practically, which is wild to think that they waited that long to make this movie, that the puppet aspect was that important to this film. And Evan Marlowe, the director and writer, was inspired by David Lynch, Philip K. Dick, and The Twilight Zone. So if you like any of those, this might be up your alley. I think Abruptio does succeed as a horror film. Just the unsettling nature of it, it's not like, boo, scary thing. It is a broad spectrum of horror films. If you feel weird watching it, if you feel unsettled and disturbed, it's a horror movie, and I think it is successful in that. And definitely, Abruptio captures that. So I would give Abruptio a strong 3.5 out of 5 stars. I think the only thing holding it back for me was probably the very ending, which it ramps up and it just goes in a different direction, which isn't bad. I was just like more curious of like where it was going to go, and it seemed a little bit too obvious for me, but it does fit in with the theme of the film, and I don't think it really detracts that much from it. So would you enjoy this? I don't know. If you're into weird experimental horror, absolutely. If you like psychological thrillers or surreal elements, sure. It's got a lot of good practical effects and a unique story. but I can't recommend it to everybody. It's like very specific niche audience, definitely. The aesthetic of it would probably be divisive, and it's a bit of a slow burn. It does take wild swings, but it takes a little bit to get there.
I'm losing my mind.
So what did you think of Abruptio? Let me know down in the comments. If you haven't seen it, would you watch the full-length movie made entirely of puppets, or is it just too weird for you? Let me know. I like discovering obscure horror movies, so I'll probably put more reviews up like this. So if you want to see more, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, comment, let me know what I should check out, and I'll see you later. Bye.